We'll look at emotional, social, and the psychological cause of Japa. Our speaker, Dr. Adeoye, will be speaking on Between Hope and Despair, the psychological, social, and faith-based realities of migration. This would also be followed by a panel discussion. Of course, after the panel discussion, we'll take questions from the audience. The third session, and guess what? That third session looks to me like the most unpredictable. In other words, anything can happen. That session is what we call the fireside chat. We have a digital expert, an internet maximalist, an education consultant, and a media and entertainment guru coming together to talk about Japa beyond economics. This program will end today with a raffle draw, and I'll be coming back to say one or two things to you again. In all, it promises to be a great day, so I say to you, enjoy yourself, take notes, make contacts, ask questions, and I pray that God will use this program to bring you closer to His purpose and plan for your life. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day.
Amen. Please, can we put our hands together? Let's put our hands together. Let's put our hands together. Let's put our hands together. So the way I will get this going is this. If you know anyone who you didn't hear from them for a long time, and the next thing you saw, they were taking pictures in the snow, raise your hand. If you know anybody like that, you did not hear from them. After a while, you just called them. I've been calling you, your number did not. Hey, it just happened like that. How many people, if there's anybody who has told you that, hey, I didn't know, the thing just happened all of a sudden, and that they left the country, raise your hand. It just happened all of a sudden. I want you to tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, I'm on the journey to my own all of a sudden too. This is how they usually start. The reason why I am pointing that out is so that every one of us will know that the information that is going to come our way today is more important than money. Do you know why? Do you know why? If you want to know why, ask me why. The information you are going to come across today, like Pastor rightly said, like Pastor Noru Edopolo rightly said, either you want to Japa or you want to Jakpada. Or you want to Duro. Do you understand? The information that is coming your way this morning is going to save you a lot of money. Because how you go determines what you can take advantage of. How many of us agree? There are people who have gone and they are not having the best of their lives. It is not because the place is not good. It is because of how they left. All right? So please, I would like every one of us to please pay as much attention as possible. All right? Let us pay as much attention as possible. Relocation and immigration, as Pastor said it, is one of the things that a lot of people want to do. A lot of people are doing, but we don't want to talk about it. You just want it to happen out of the blue. And people have lost money. People have lost relationships. People have lost their lives. Tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, we are not your village people. We are not here to stop you. We are here to aid you. We are here to help you. And we are here to ensure that you fulfill your God-given destiny. So if you strongly believe that you are going to get the best of today, I want you to just put your hands together. Put your hands together. Put your hands together. Put your hands together. All right, so we've been told just how much of things we can expect. Believe me, for everything that we have been told, it is less than 20% of that which is to come today. It is less than 20% of it. And how many of us have ever traded, made money from digital assets, crypto? Please raise your hand. Pastor Noru Edokpolo has his hand up. Yay. What is now going on with you boys? Wait, please raise your hand, raise your hand, raise your hand, raise your hand. Amen. I will be joining that team today because the digital assets that we are being given today for free, believe me, it is as important as can be. So please, I would like as many of us as possible, let us take absolute advantage of that and the many other things that will be given away.
All right, so now we're going to be doing a short activity whilst we wait for our speaker. So I'm going to be grouping us into teams, all right? So this is Team Japa. Do you want to be Team Japa or Durosile? Japa, all right. This is Team Japa. This is Team Pada. This is Team Jakpada. And that is Team Durosile. Are we ready? So what's this team called? I can't hear you guys, no energy. All right, this team. Japa.
No, I think they didn't get the
Okay, let me take it again.
well. Yes.
So this is Japa, Jakpada. No, this is Durosile, and this is Pada. Do we understand? Japa, Jakpada, Pada, and Durosile. All right. So now we're going to be doing a short game, and each team has 5 points to win. So I'm going to say a word, and you have to give me a song that has that word in it. So if it doesn't have that word and you guys are not singing it together, you're lost. You've lost though. Are we ready? Are you ready for your word? Are you ready? The word is going. -5, you're not singing well. Okay, 5 points to Team Japa. All right, so your word is turning. There's a trendy song with turning, no. Zero. You guys don't have a song. I don't know the name of that song. All right, so your word is back. The only way you will sing this song well is if you stand and do the dance. If you're not doing the dance, you're going to get 0. Okay. Thank you. Now your special word is Jesus. Can you imagine? Jesus is in all the songs, though. I think I'm going to tell my committee to mark those 2 mummies there for me because they're the ones that carried this group. So now the next word is special. Yes, for you guys. Special. Okay, that's 10 points for Japa. I think, Pastor, we're going to note that I think this conference is made for people that want to leave this country. Okay, so now the next word is higher. No, you sang that song before. 0. I can't hear you people. Every day. Okay, now the new word is match. Is that a song or you're formulating your own song? Where's our choir HOD? She's going to join choir. Because her voice is louder than the whole church. Thank you so much. That's half mark because it's only one person that sang for you. So now your word is lift. Ma, are we marking these two women, please? Okay. So just before... Okay. So now your next word is up. That's now they sing that song. There's energy. Not like this. You are sitting down and you're saying higher. Okay. Thank you. You have 15 marks. Japa is leading. Pastor, are we seeing? Okay. So the next word is Japa. You can form your song as long as it's sweet to me. If it's sweet, you get 10 marks. You will never track by. Okay, you have 10 marks. So now, the next word is love. Chai. Okay. Okay, the next word is victory. 1, 2. So we have 10 marks for you. Because of that mommy that's too to dance. You guys have extra 10 marks. Okay, now your word is choir. Yes. And I can even see the youth choir head here itself. So you should know a word that has choir in it. It's not hard now. Should I sing a song that has choir? I'm getting reports that I can't sing songs for you guys, so I'm so sorry. Okay. It's set up. Okay, let me give you a word. Shout. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. As you can see, Japa is leading. And the prize MF is going to give me, I'm going to give it to Japa. Oh. You guys are not impressing me. Are you ready to impress me? Team Japa, are you ready? I can't even hear you people. I think I should come back. Let me carry my crypto somewhere else. Okay. Now your word is Shante. When you watch the video of Shante, were they sitting down? No, so sorry, 0. Hey, lyrics. Okay, you have 5 marks. Now, for my Jackpada team, those that have gone abroad, I'm going to give you guys a very classy word. Are you ready for your word? Are you ready? Or should I go to the next team? Your word is life. They're even classy. See the song, they picked Zoe. So demure, proper. Love it. You have 10 marks. Because I'm a demure queen, I'm giving you guys 10 marks. Praise the Lord. Great. So now, your word is combine. Okay, shall I give you another word? Or you know the song? Okay, the word is word.
We don't make it look tacky, we're moving the second session forward. Do you have the details? This thing is so small.
Where is our HOD choir? We need to sign this team for choir. They all have beautiful voices. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. So now my co-anchor MF is going to be coming up to brief us and prepare us for our next speaker. Thank you. Jack, are you ready for your gifts?
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please, ladies and gentlemen, we would have to, move certain things around just so that we can proceed with what we have to do today. And with that, how many of us we have a rundown of what we're to do today? If you have a rundown, come on, wave your hands. Wave it. Okay. Please, we are going to just go on now as we will take what is ideally supposed to be the second keynote address. Okay, we'll bring it up to number 1 just so that we can keep things rolling as we should. So please, I would like to just ask that our wonderful technical team let us have the introduction for the keynote address, the second one, and that is for Dr. Adeoye Oyewole. Thank you. Let's put our hands together, please.
This is your flight attendant, Modesola Owolabi speaking. Our pilot has told us that now we're having a speaker coming up. We have now speaking Dr. Adeoye Oyewole. Can we give it up for Dr. Adeoye Oyewole as he comes up to give us a little talk?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, I want to thank the leadership of the church for inviting me to speak on the topic between hope and despair, the psychological, social, and faith-based realities of migration. Like the short introduction showed, I'm a psychiatrist and a pastor. And when I hear Japa syndrome, it's simply defined as a phenomenon among Nigerians seeking to emigrate, often to countries in Europe or North America, in search of a better living conditions. However, the word is from this Yoruba word, Japa, meaning to run, to flee, or to escape. I was just telling Pastor this morning that when I was thinking about the concept of Japa and the definition in literature, it means somebody just wants to run away and escape out of a place. The only time that is acceptable is when there is war or there is a major catastrophe like famine or something serious happening in an environment. But when some set of individuals choose to run away, escape, and flee, and those things are not in place, to a psychiatrist, it looks like a psychological disorder. Because if I want to just run out of a place, and where I'm running out of doesn't have a situation of war or something that is grossly unstable, and I'm desperate to get out. When a psychiatrist looks at that phenomenon, we're looking at a mental disorder. Because that's what qualifies us to say, I want to get out. I had worked with International Organization for Migration before in Edo State and Delta State. And what I found out was that a good number of the returnees that came back, they didn't know exactly where they were headed or no plans until they got to Libya. Some wanted to go to UK, they went to en route Libya, Egypt, to come back. And some were trapped along the way. So this thing we call Japa syndrome is very important. We interrogate the definition as different from intelligent migration. People can migrate intelligently, well planned, destination defined, purpose well articulated. But when it happens as a form of escape, because oftentimes, especially for young people, when you want to ask them, where am I? I say, I'm going to Japa. What is the plan? No plan. Where are you headed? Somebody has told me this, unverified, no roadmap, nothing to go and do there. So I must say that it could be a mental health disorder. We have seen people who had, and they claim that they want asylum. I'm sure you young people are aware of that. After 2 years, they want to go back to the country where they said displaced them. And some of them were not allowed back to the country. So young people, and even we elderly people, need to understand that when we want to move out of the country, we need to have our plans. It needs to be well interrogated. But it is very common among us now, especially when you look at the conditions of the country, which is universal, which is global, for people to want to Japa. So Japa syndrome to a psychiatrist is a bit of some mental illness, because you don't Japa without a plan. What are the factors behind this Japa syndrome? Of course, the economic factors are there: unemployment, underemployment, low salaries, poor working conditions, subsidy removal, and all the implications are there. Social factors: some people want better education, yes. And I must make a point about the better education. If you go to UK, you want to do a master's. A good number of people who are doing masters in the UK may not end up using that master's to work. As a matter of fact, what the master's education gives them is the opportunity to do some menial jobs that qualify master's student is the career he will now pursue. So I think it's something for us to think about. Some possibly travel for family reunification or as a product of some religious why people want to travel may be as a result of religious hypnotism or brainwashing. That a prophet has once prayed for me that I'm not going to stay in Nigeria. And possibly my fortune is possibly in America or Britain. And there is no time I've actually sat down to interrogate this fortune and how it is going to take place. But because it is a religious prophecy, so why don't I follow it? And some people have actually resigned from life, even in Nigeria here. Some have refused to take jobs. Some have refused to serve, to do NYSC. Some have refused to even go for counseling that, what is it that is good about me that I can do on my own here? And let me lay my hands on. Like suspending your life to Japa. I've seen a lot of young people, and as a psychiatrist, a good number of them have become my patients. Because as they wait, not doing anything, they go into drugs. And as they take drugs, they lose their minds. Some people have become sick. Some people have become prostitutes, ladies who are not going ahead with anything, and they need to live. They need to survive. We now begin to do something unethical. They say an idle hand is what? And nature, psychologically especially, does not permit you not to do anything. If you ask some people, what are you doing? Uncle, I'm processing, I want to go to Poland. Uncle, I want to go to UK. And so you remain passive, not doing anything. So some people, because of that, religious hypnotism, brainwashing. Some, it is peer pressure. You belong to a group. There's always this group, hey, we don't want to stay in this country. This country will never be good. Oh, they keep chorusing it and chorusing it. It becomes a dogma. So much so you find it difficult to extricate yourself from it and prevent you from actually doing anything meaningful with your life. And like I said, some people may actually be mentally ill. When people are paranoid, you may be paranoid and not fully break down. Some people can be paranoid against their situation where they are staying. Some people are paranoid against Nigeria, isn't it? They don't make it. It's not possible. Even when they see some little evidence, they are engineered to shut it down. So for some people, it could be a symptom of mental illness to keep saying negative things. And they are happy when negative things happen in Nigeria. When there's positive ones, they don't want to hear. So some of those factors we have listed, the economic factors, the political factors, could be the stressor that has pushed people into a mindset that is against where you are. Keeps you passive, does not help you to make any move, does not help you at self-development or doing anything for your life. Yes, as a result of this, people who get involved in Japa syndrome rather than intelligent migration. So we have a large number of youths who just wants to escape. And when you see them abroad, a good number of them may be criminals. A good number of them may be beggars. A good number of them may be doing work that has destroyed their talent. I don't know whether you have seen somebody who was promising. You know this person, if well cultured and well counseled, will do well in this direction. See them in UK, even in America. Either they are running away from police or trying to dodge one thing or the other. So what they do is to just do minimal job. To do what? To survive. Of course, occasionally when they get some money, they take photographs somewhere and send home. Of course, disrupted and dysfunctional family dynamics. A lot of people, even middle age like us, because it's also psychological. When you are in middle age, some of us, with Pastor Norewa, what we thought we were going to be when we were in secondary school is not what we are now. But you have to adjust. Maybe we thought we were going to build a house inside the Atlantic Ocean, isn't it? But now you have managed to build a land. And then somebody comes with an idea that you need to Japa, don't worry. Under 2 months. I'm a psychiatrist, I have colleagues there. They tell them they pay us like £8,000 in the UK, but the final amount of money that gets to their hand is about 4,000 or so. By the time they convert that to Naira and send money home, they want to do the impossible. they find out that it's even not as profitable as it will have been. So, family dynamics destroyed. Some men have had to travel to marry another woman there. I don't know how they do it, how you need to abandon your wife and children and go abroad and get married to another woman just because you want to japa to a psychiatrist. It's a form of mental illness. Because apparently, where are you headed? What is your goal? What do you want to achieve with your life to go to that level of self-inflicted trauma? Yes, emotional toll on parents, siblings, and extended families can be grave. Some people have jackpot, they don't even know where they are. I had very gory details of stories when I was working with IOM as a consultant. I used to read it on the papers, hear it on the radio. I never believed it was true. They told stories of sexual abuse, torture, people who are dehumanized from the way they were treated. Just because they want to go UK and route Libya or something, and then they get trapped somewhere and they become sexual slaves. Even in Dubai and so many other countries, a good number of young persons who had been told a lie moved out without a plan. Of course, when you get there, there are difficulties in adapting to changing roles and responsibilities, especially for family men. You leave your wife here, you are there, you are struggling to have your footing. So the kind of jobs you are doing for the first 4 or 5 years is not even enough for you to send money home. Your wife is under pressure. School fees are not being paid. You have to move your children from schools that they were going that is regular before to another one that is not very good enough for them. All on the promise, okay, don't worry. Your father will come and pick you to America. Your father will come and take you to London. A paper or a citizenship you may never get because of the manner in which you went. So I hope you are getting the difference. Japa from intelligent immigration. Increased stress and tension in the family, and there could be grave impact on mental health. A good number of persons abroad can't come home because they are depressed. What they thought was going to happen because they didn't interrogate it, because they were not cancelled, it's not what is happening there. So they are frustrated. I mean, people talk as though on the streets of London or US, you'll be picking dollars and you'll be picking pounds. The kind of tax you pay there may not make the amount of money you are told you're going to be earning, and you bring out your calculator, multiply, and think, oh, this is the amount of money I will be earning, which is not true. Because you even rent a flat, you understand what I'm saying? To pay for money, pay for light, all these things, how much money is left for you to now say you want to send money back home? And the opportunities are streamlined. They ask for American experience, UK experience. I have trained doctors who ended up as care workers in the UK. Because of the stress, they attempted to do exams to practice in the UK 3 times, and they cannot pass, and they are bad for life. So it means I'm fully trained as a doctor, I'm in the UK or in the US, and I cannot practice a profession I've spent 7, 8 years about. These are realities of what is going on. You can imagine what is happening to that man's mental health. So of course, it's not far-fetched that such a person can become depressed, get hooked into drugs, and cannot come back home again. Some husbands have totally abandoned their wives and children here. Stop picking their phones, and the woman has to find a way to take care of children here. So, poor parenting or imbalanced parenting. Of course, there is the need for the presence of the man in the home, isn't it? In Canada, we have a good number of Nigerian families with wives and children alone, and the man is working here. Of course, at a point, you can't be using Naira to service Canadian dollars. At some point, the man gets tired. The man can also be under pressure. The woman is also under pressure. The children are growing up as teenagers. The teenagers are coming with different kinds of wahala, and the man is not there. What happens is you lose your wife to a strange man who comes around to offer help, and you lose your children without proper training into that system. Of course, infidelity leading to emotional disconnection and marital breakdown. For somebody who's been sexually exposed to his spouse, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, something will have to give. If when you are speaking in tongues about that kind of a temptation, it will not pass the ceiling. Of course, some of the monies they send back home to dependents here also damage you. Some people don't want to work. They want to be supervisors of people, of projects that their siblings are doing. And they end up stealing the money and not doing anything. I don't know whether you're aware. Say my brother is sending money abroad. And you have this guy in the family, is the one that is supervising, stealing the money, not doing anything. And it can even lead to big family breakdown. The man manages to come home one day and say, where is my property? What are you building? And you now see siblings carrying each other to the police because the guys at home, some of us here, the kind of pressure we also give the guys abroad are unrealistic. Your wife has just given birth. You are waiting for your brother in America to send money to you. Your child wants to go to school. He must pay school fees without knowing that he also is under a lot of pressure outside there. Of course, this leads to poor entrepreneurship and economic stagnation for beneficiaries. When demand stops, then you get angry. Of course, there's also shift in societal norms and values, leading to divorce and delinquent marriages. Of course, the number of separations or divorce we have in America and the UK is higher than what we even have in Nigeria. You know, in Nigeria, we have a way of managing each other. When our wives, as I heard, when they get there, as I see them, they get empowered. And I learned that what happens is that they cannot want to submit, so-called, the way our wives try to manage us here. And they castrate, that's the word, the men there. You see skits, whether skits or realities, where women will start slapping the man over little allegation. Slap, kick, because the man can't do anything. So you see a lot of men who are supposed to be leaders running at working their destinies and purposes in Nigeria here, behaving like somebody who is already dead. Because a good number of separations is happening there. Children are being, managed alone there. Nobody to caution them. And the women are also taking advantage of that system to work out some of their bitterness, some of the hurts they've had in the past. And they say, this is a time to deal with you. Occasionally, when I travel abroad with my wife, she will say, please, young man, carry that box. Time is up. Let me quickly. So we have people who are abusing substances, perverse sexual orientation, and of course, poor living conditions. The faith and ethical dilemmas. We're going to discuss it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. You can please take your seat. You can take your seat, sir. Yes. Sound, please. Okay.
Our pilot has asked that we make a stop at Stanbic IBTC Bank because Mrs. Funke Amobi will be taking us on a ride, showing us how she empowers people and transforms organizations across Africa's corporate skyline. Sit tight, relax, because this is about to be a very rich conversation.
Oma.
It's your flight attendant. Modesola once again. for Going the Health Way with Dr. Adeoye Oyewole, a psychiatrist, professor, championing mental wellness and executive productivity from the pulpit to the boardroom. Tighten your seatbelts because this is going to be an amazing ride.
We also have Pastor Norua Ejokpolo, our pastor in charge, and our leadership and relationship consultant up here on stage. Lastly, we have Afam Agomo joining us online, a psychologist and mental health enthusiast. God bless you.
Thank you, everyone, and you're welcome to the panel session. I just would like confirmation that my online guest is also available so that we can have a very rich conversation. So Dr. Oyewole had just taken us through the impact that the Japa has over the family. And during this session, we're going to be talking about the soft issues around Japa. Perhaps you have questions of his session or questions for the rich panelists that I have. You would please would have a link where you would please share your questions. If that link is not available, please you can just signal to any of the ushers to pick up your questions. Would like to have your understanding or your questions, whatever it is that is bothering you. Thank you. Thank you to my panelists, and you are welcome. I will start with Pastor, because we just heard from Doctor his perspective around how Japa affects the family and the entirety of our lives. My question to you, sir, is that sometimes the reasons why congregation members will not tell anybody about their Japa plans is because they don't want anybody to discourage them, or they feel that pastor will say, I'm going to lose my member. So my question to you, sir, is there anything wrong with Japa from a religious perspective?
Thank you very much. In the short opening remarks that I made, if you remember, we started by looking at two portions of the Bible. The first time there was a famine, Abraham jakpad. And there was a famine, and God said to Isaac, don't go to Egypt. In other words, duro or pada. And we concluded by saying that jakpa in itself is neither right nor wrong. It depends on the purpose of God for your life. Therefore, jakpa, that is going abroad for economic reasons or whatever else, is not in itself right or wrong. It all depends. Why are you going? Where are you going? What's the plan? So the answer is a function of your circumstances, etc., etc. So we cannot say it is right because we have seen it in the Bible. Even if you look at it from the point of view of the gospel, our church, the Redeemed Christian Church of God, is all over the world today because members jakpad. So you can see that it has worked well for us in certain regards. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so there's no right or wrong way. It depends on what God is telling you and your personal convictions. Okay, let me speak to Mrs. Funke Omobi, who is a HR professional. And I'm very curious. Are there HR policies or employee experience that we can begin to implement as Nigerian businesses that will make people make you retain staff? Are there things that we can begin to do? The young people don't even want to come and do formal. Thank you, sir. The young people don't even want to do 9-to-5 jobs, put on a tie, and tell us that we cannot go. So what do you think?
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me. I think the subject that we're discussing today is an important one that every young person and every career professional should understand. I'm going to do a short intro before I answer your question.
That's fine.
What corporates can do. Thank you for that. Japa is not new. My late dad was a medical doctor. In the 60s, and that's not recent, is it? He went to Germany to study medicine. And he was there for maybe like 10 years. It takes a long time, and then he worked for a while, and then he came back to Nigeria. He came back to Nigeria in the 70s, I think even in the late 60s, and then he got married. He returned in the late 60s, and then he got married, and the rest is history, as they say, and he became an established medical practitioner. Now, he jackpot purposefully in court.
Word.
He had a desire straight from secondary school, which was Christ School, Adequate, to be a medical doctor. And he was mentally prepared for that life. He knew what he aspired to become. He went in search and in pursuit of his career aspiration. He believed that he had an opportunity to become a medical doctor in Germany. He didn't even understand German language, which he had to learn on arrival. He spoke German fluently until he passed on. So purposefully, he was navigating the world, the earth. The Bible says the earth
Is the Lord's,
is the Lord's and the fullness thereof.
thereof.
And he was purposefully navigating to achieve an aspiration. My question is, what is your aspiration? The average person jackpotting today doesn't even have an aspiration. He's in the pursuit of, in quotes, greener pastures. I liked how the man of God told us earlier that he can be deemed psychiatric. I never knew that, sir. Thank you. What is green about a pasture you know nothing about? I'm going in search of greener pastures. My dad was clear. I need to learn German, and I need to go to medical school for so long, and I will be back in this country. Having said that, it's important that as you're leaving school, you must know, you must be clear in your mind, what are my aspirations? You must understand the aspirations. You must put it down in writing. I insist that you put it down in writing. The Bible says you have to write it down, isn't it?
Yes, write the vision.
Write the vision down, that you run with it. What happens with all the japa? You are running with a vision that's not written down. And so it's subject to all of the what ifs, maybes. It happened to A, I want to copy and paste. And then you copy and it refuses to paste. So the question is, are you prepared for the future? Do you have an aspiration? Are you desirous of becoming? Is your aspiration big, audacious, daring? That's what it needs to be honest. I don't need to believe you. Why do you want anybody to believe what you want to become? Maybe in the village, in my village, they never thought my dad could become a medical doctor, but he did. So, what are your aspirations? And where does Japa fit into that? As the man of God said, Japa is neither right or wrong. The question is, what are you talking about? Japa is a flee. It's a run. That's what it means. The word means. It's an escape from to where. That is always the problem. The problem with that concept is not understanding what you're doing with it. What is your career aspiration today? I ask, even if you're not young from school, you're not a fresh school leaver, you've been working for so long, what are those aspirations? What is good for you? What are you looking forward to? Then we talk about how you're going to get there. Then you now have to answer the critical question, does Japa fit in? And do you understand how Japa fits in? And what is going to be required of you? And where you are going to make that happen? Now, organizations can do a lot, to your question. Opportunity. You know, when they say greener pastures, greener opportunity, they're looking for an opportunity. So somebody is looking for meaningful work, growth, more earnings. You know, when they break it down, it always comes down to naira and kobo. Even when it starts from dollar and pounds and euros and what have you, it always comes down to naira and kobo. So organizations can do a lot to retain talent, to make the grass look green, and retain. I'm one person who constantly believes that the grass is green everywhere. After all, we're
Word.
children of God.
Yes.
The Bible says, wheresoever the soles of my feet
Shall tread.
upon,
Yes.
I can take possession. And the Bible says the land must answer unto me.
Yes.
This same Nigeria, it is answering to others, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, it will answer to me.
Amen.
This same Obodo Yibo, allow me to speak Igbo. This same Obodo Yibo answereth to some and appears not to be answering to some. You only need to know, like the man of God said. They take the photograph where it looks beautiful and send it to you. Then when you are visiting, if you are lucky to visit, then you'll be wondering, is this not the same people that live abroad? How come it looks like this? There's struggle everywhere. They've got bills to pay. Define the opportunities. Employers can create that opportunity. Career opportunities, growth opportunities, meaningful work. Let it be clear to people where you are today and where you can be tomorrow. Make career growth clear. Let people understand. And I'm an advocate of take your career into your hands. No organization can plan everyone's career.
That's correct.
What the organization can do is make the career paths very clear. Make it clear to everyone that joins them. In fairness, this is what it will take to get to the top. Are you ready? Then you take it into your hands. You ask yourself the question, where do I want to be when? What am I going to do to get there? Organizations must make it clear. Because it's opportunity people are looking for. So make that opportunity clear. Let people take their careers into their hands, manage their growth, but encourage that navigation. Make the terrain clear. Clarify growth paths. Make people equipped with the tools they need to own their careers and create their own opportunities, meaningful work, understanding how to grow, understanding how to earn more, understanding how to be greater. That's all organizations need to do better.
Thank you so much.
And retention will be easier.
Thank you so much. Please, can we give her a round of applause? I heard Japa purposefully. I heard that it doesn't matter the plans that organizations have. Each of us, if we plan to stay in Nigeria, we need to take our careers. If you're an entrepreneur, you have to take your business seriously and look for other opportunities of earning. Thank you very much for your perspective. I saw Dr. Ogoma online. Are you online? Can you hear us, sir? I can hear your voice, but I can't hear you.
You can hear my voice, you can't hear me.
Are you muted? Can you check if you're muted?
Let me see.
Can you check if you're muted, sir?
No. I am not muted.
Okay. Okay, so while...
Can you hear me now?
While you're preparing, I had a question to Dr. Oyewole. What would be your recommendation? I don't have sufficient money for myself and my spouse to Japa. We have agreed that we want to Japa, but I don't have enough money. So we have agreed that one party should go. What are the things that we can do to make sure that we maintain our relationship, even though, why are you smiling, sir? Even though two of us are away. You want us to have a practical session? Oh, okay, you have a mic beside you, sir. There's a mic beside you.
Pastor Norua.
That's why I said, do you want a practical, okay?
Yes, because it would be difficult for me to want to allow my wife to go.
Wow.
But if she must,
okay.
And that's very important because if you look at the age of your children,
I'm here.
The stage the family is.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
It's a cost. Because if you look strictly...
Sorry, sir, did you say cost? C-O-S-T?
C-O-S-T, yes.
Okay, cost.
Because if I sit down with my wife and then I look at my children...
There are two sessions going on simultaneously. Okay, it's been muted. Can I continue now? Can you hear? No, it's come back. All right.
Teachers in the medical school who left like that. A good number of their children left with the wives ended up abusing drugs. Not all the time, but most of the time. Even the Bible talks in Colossians 3, it says, wives, submit yourself to your own husband. Husband, love your wives. Children, obey your parents. So it means the synergy and the presence of parents is not just daddy and mommy, the two of them.
Okay.
So if I'm in that position, I will consider the age of my children.
Okay.
The economic factor can be there, but what other things can we still do while we are together for now?
Okay.
So if that is clear, the children are grown.
Can you hear me
I
now?
think, we can ask for help. There are some relatives, if you have your good plans.
So what do I
Some
do now?
people don't want
Because
to
I'm still
discuss
hearing
their
these other
Japa
voices in the background.
And that's the mental illness factor there. I should be able to discuss, this is what I'm thinking of. This is
I'm
how
still hearing them.
we
So
want
two
to
sessions are
navigate
going on
it.
simultaneously. So what do I do? Okay, it's gone off. Can I continue now? Can I continue? Can you hear me? I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, so what do I do? Should I continue? All right. Okay. I thought you were coordinating it. So what do I do now? Because I'm still hearing these other voices in the background. Apparently, two parallel sessions are going on. Okay.
Critical, all right? If you get that right, then
So
other
what do I do
things will
now?
fall into place. I think I'll just leave it there because
Also, if you're in that category
Okay.
and you want counsel in this space, one of our sponsors for this program is the Norolwa Edopolo Consulting. They have whoever asks the question, more detailed information around that. And then, like Doctor mentioned, you need counsel. Counsel is very important. Japa it's not a single, it's not a one person. You need counsel through that phase of your life. Okay, doctor, please confirm you can hear me, Dr. Goma, because I have a question for you. Okay, can I just please have someone signal to me when that is ready? Because I have a question for you.
Can we hear him now?
But while
Hello?
okay, while that is going on, I also
Hello?
have another question. Someone says
Hello?
that
Hello?
I don't know who can answer this, but which of the panelists? How much do you need to Japa? Who asked that question?
I think what I will say to you is this. You know, where are you going? How are you going? When are you going? Why are you going? Is the answer to all those questions that will tell you how much. And there are people who, you can do the research yourself. If you spend time online, there's ample resource that can give you information. One of our sponsors for this program, PAVE is, they use the education route very well. You can, speak with them. I'm sure they will provide you with information. You cannot get a figure like this, no, but there are quite a number of estimates. And take note, the variables are changing on a daily basis. All right? So it depends on where you are going, who you are, your skill set, etc., etc., etc. All right? I know a family of 5, just to land in Canada, ticket only, was about 25 million. Husband, wife, and I think 4 or 5 children. Ticket only was about 25 million, just to land in Canada. So Do your homework, do your research, and you'll get the figure.
Okay, sir, you want to add?
Important that these other countries are not like Nigeria, where you
Hello, can you hear
me? And stay indefinitely. So you must think of accommodation. After a month, maybe they will endure you and your children. And then you have to find a way to survive, to earn some form of living. So it's not like Nigeria.
There is no free lunch, indeed.
No.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Please keep your questions coming in. I do have access to your questions now. Somebody says, can someone with second-class lower degree get a full funded scholarship in the UK or Sweden or anywhere?
I would say CPAVE after now.
Okay. CPAVE after now.
Let me add on to that, if I may.
Okay.
So I did my master's in the UK with a fully funded scholarship. It's called a British Chevening Scholarship. So it's about, I'm glad you qualified things. There are different scholarships out there. And when you see the consultants, they will let you know. So you must first of all get your knowledge. Be knowledgeable about what you're talking about. The British Chevening Scholarship is a scholarship that is targeted at, largely you have to have a 2-1 or a first class, and is targeted at deliberate individuals that they consider future leaders in their respective countries. The thinking is that you go and you come back. So understand the scholarship you are looking for. The British Chevening Scholarship is not a Japa scholarship. It's a PADA scholarship. It's intended to equip you, get the exposure, get the additional education you need to come back and be a leader in your country. I thought you put your hands together. Look, the Chevening Scholarship is intended, or they hope, it hasn't happened, but the expectation is that those who have been Chevening scholars one day will become presidents of their various countries.
Okay.
Nigeria is one of the countries that is availed. Just Google it, or British Chevening Scholarship. You have a 2-1, you have a first class. Then you have to have a dream, a leadership dream. It keeps going back to, what are you looking for? Nobody's going to answer that question for you, home or abroad. You have to answer it yourself. What's that your career intent, your career dream? What do you want to become? Now, you don't need anybody's validation to dream big. Just dream first. Then the Chevening Scholarship is by the British Council and is funded by the British taxpayers. They pay for everything. Tickets, accommodation, tuition, books, including your winter allowance. XX luggage, you carry to and fro, they pay for it. Whoa. They give you a return ticket. So it's a fully funded scholarship.
We can hear you now. We can hear you now.
You must come back home. So when you're looking for scholarship, understand the scholarship you're looking for. Because scholarships have terms and conditions. And don't think you now go and disappear there. It doesn't work like that. If it's for you to go and come back, you have to go and come back.
Thank you, thank you. So I have like a couple of questions I'll just take together. Which is better, smaller country or bigger country to start a Japa? I think that question has been answered. Purposeful Japa. First, find out what is the dream? What are you going to do? My line manager will always say, what are the 5 whys? Have you answered where? Why do I? So it's not about bigger or smaller country. Are there platforms in place to help guide a youth wanting to Japa? I think Pastor just mentioned it. You can speak to one of our sponsors, PAVE, and there are a lot of materials available online and scholarships too. Okay, we can hear you, Doctor. Can you please hear us now?
Yes, we have audio now.
Hello, Doctor. Hello.
Are you talking to Dr. Gomo? Are you talking to Dr. Gomo?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Yes, I'm talking to Dr. Yes, good and nice
Can
to
I
have
go
you.
on now? Can I go on now?
Yes, you can.
All right. Good morning, all. Good morning, all.
Good morning.
Thank you for these all important conference, and I will take it from another direction. If you look at the Wikipedia definition of Japa, it is simply immigration or immigration depending on where you stand. But it's immigration with a twist. They are very particular in that definition. And there are words you note there. Hasty, chant, playing. And this is not a good words. Successful integration is planned. Well planned. And I'll give you two old ones and 2 or 3 modern ones. Then we can now look at Japa and its consequences for Nigeria. And if you mention Nigeria, you're talking about the Black world. For me, the greatest immigration story is the great story of the Bible. Genesis 15:13, Exodus 50:20. Genesis 15:13. Our Almighty God saw 400 years ahead. He sees the end from the beginning. And he told Abraham, your children are going to be slaves in another country for 400 years. Where
Can you hear me, sir?
the Redeemed Christian Church of God.
I don't know if you're hearing me, sir.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, sir, just so that to guide, I have a particular question someone shared with me, just to add to what you're saying. Yes. So the question is that you should please share with us some of the psychological preparation one should have. So I'm like Abraham, God has already given me instructions to go, and I am going. What kind of psychological preparation should I make before I leave the country? So I'm already clear as to.
Yes. All right. If you've gotten the directions to go, it means that you have all the facts. You know the distance. You know the pathway. You know the difficulties on the way. And you know what to expect when you get there. If you have all those, it makes the adjustment easier. In the absence of that, it makes it very difficult. Let me give an example. If you are moving to another society, you have language problems. You have housing problems. You have cultural problems. And if you don't plan for them, it's likely going to impinge on your mental health. Anxiety, depression. If there is any pre-existing mental health condition, it worsens. For some even, is very traumatic. And most of the major psychiatric conditions are also common among those who emigrate without planning. I don't know whether that has answered your question.
Yes, it has. Thank you so much. So right now, my time is up, but there's a very burning question here. He says, and I think it's for Pastor. He said, my question is, should I keep believing in traveling after being told a prophecy, a pastor prophesied, and then, but I have a sustainable job at hand?
Is that question for me?
No, sir, it's for a
sir.
pastor. It's for the Pastor
Okay.
Dopolo.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Be mindful of being controlled by prophecies and prophets. All right? When I was a very young Christian, I had an encounter, a much older Christian, and he would say things to me, and I would tell him, I don't know much about God, but common decency says that God shouldn't be discussing me with you without talking to me about me.
Exactly.
Are you getting it? I was very young as a Christian, and I said to him, I'm sorry, sir, if God feels this strongly, and he was telling me quite, you are going to be this, you are going to be that, and I said, no, I think it's an insult for God to talk all of this about me to you and not tell me anything about me to me. Guess what? If I had followed him, he would have led me astray. So, prophecies are only meant to confirm what you already know that God wants to do in your life. The prophet, God, so be careful. If the prophecy does not resonate with what is happening inside of you, if you move on the basis of a prophecy, you may not arrive at your destination.
And Dr. Ogoma for coming online. I'd like to invite the chairperson for the Japa Conference 2025, Madam Mrs. Ife, to please come. Let's take a picture along with the panelists. Media, please.
Check. Please, a round of applause for both the speaker and the panelists. So I want to ask, do you think we're making progress? No, do you think we're making progress? Okay, so if you have learned a thing or two, can you just wave your hands? Okay, seems it's only people on this side and here. So let me look at it. If you have learned a thing or two, even our facilitators in front are raising their hands. If facilitators are learning, those of us at the back, are we learning a thing or two? Okay, if the old Japa idea is getting clearer to you now, can you put your hands together? That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, one thing I can tell you for sure is that what you think is clear to you is about to get even clearer. Because there is so much more to what you see than you can see. And there's still so much more for you to know. And so on that note, we are going to go into another keynote address. Of course, we now know how these things go. We're about to hear from several people by the time we get to the panel session. But for now, we're going to take the keynote address as will be given by Dr. Ogo Okiti. Please, let's have it.
This is your flight attendant, Modesola Owolabi speaking. Our pilot has said that coming up next, we have Dr. Ogo Okiti, the CEO of Think Business Africa Limited, an economist and a media enthusiast. Get ready for a ride.
A very good morning to you all. If it's still morning, yes, 4 minutes to 12 noon. And it's really a great delight for me to be here this morning. I thank Pastor for inviting me. And I genuinely apologize that I came late. I apologize that I came late. But nonetheless, I hope that... So first, let me tell you a story. In 2023, I attended a church in Oniru, and we had a night vigil. And the pastor came and he was ministering, and it got to a point, I think it was around 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. It's not a very big church. And the pastor just ministered and said, if you want to travel abroad, come out. I don't know how many of you can guess how many people came out. I am not kidding. I am not joking. Only my family was seated. Everybody came out. And this is now the funny thing. This is now the funny thing, and I hope this is not on air, because the people that know me will know which place I'm talking about. The wife of the resident pastor also went out. So, and I got back home. My wife said, did you know that pastor's wife went out? I said, no, I didn't see her. She insisted that she saw her. I said, no, that's not possible. How do we grow this church if the pastor is traveling? So what now happened was that a year after, the husband actually traveled. So, Japa is real. Japa is real. But this, what I want to share with you this morning or this afternoon, is what I call some context. And the first context is, I titled my presentation, Nigeria in the Era of Judges. Because we are actually in the era of Judges, and there are some parallels that I want to show you. So if you move to the next slide, I'm trying to check how best to, I don't want to be looking back, so I have to okay, so I think I may have to be looking back. So Japa is not new, it's in all generations, and as I came. But I want to share 1, 2, 3, 4 things that has, some of them are related to what you've already heard. The first one is strong nations rule over weak nations. Thank you, sir. Strong nations rule over weak nations. That is the first message I want to share with you today. So if you are weak, be prepared to serve a strong nation. A nation in this context is not just about country. Nations is also about individual. So the third one is, I will tell you whether it is you are japaing or you are japada or you don't want to japa, you have to grow and you have to build. And the fourth one, which I believe Pastor has said very well, revelation. Then I will close with skills. Next slide, please. So, let me give some context about what I think has happened in the scripture in relation to Japa. Abraham was the first, Genesis chapter 12, 10 to 13. 3 things happened. He went to Egypt, he lied, and he was deported. He went to Egypt, he lied, and he was deported. I'm sure you've heard stories of many people that lied and were deported, because they actually did not define their purpose before they left. So they hurriedly, because of the famine, because of the problems, and quickly left, and they were deported. However, God in his mercy, when he came back, he did what? He blessed him. Isaac, Genesis 1 to 4. Calm down, stay where you are. And he sowed in the land and he reaped 100-fold. He was envied, he was sabotaged, and of course, there was still dispute. And the third one, I call them the Jacob and sons. Jacob and sons farming in the land, Genesis chapter 46, verse 8. But this is a God-ordained Japa. In fact, it was God that said, Japa. So, that's very, very important to note. The fourth one, of course, we know the sad story of Elimelech, Naomi, Mahlon, and Chilion. They lost everything. Everything. The only person that survived the Japa was Naomi. That was the only person that survived the Japa. And of course, we know the Shunammite woman. This one was another example of God-ordained Japa. In fact, it was Elisha that told her, there's going to be famine for 7 years. Please go somewhere else. And when she came back, her property was restored, and the interest on top was still given to her. So the first point, if I have one for you, please take this, is that be so sure, as the pastor has said, if you want to japa purpose fully. Praise God. Second. So, God is not against Japa. He has used immigration to fulfill his purposes, and he's still doing it. He's still doing it. My Redeemed Church pastor in the UK, in Manchester, was actually sent to the UK to minister to people, right? And That was how some of us, we found what I call mercy, because by the time we were already drifting away, you had a man of God with fire, and he was able to actually help the destiny of some of us. So there's nothing wrong in Japa. Of course, we already know that famine also triggers migration and it triggers population shift. So the question which everyone, last panel said, is why, what, how? Those are the questions you must ask yourself. And it is not a group question, it's a personal question. Next slide, please. So, but let me give you some context in terms of Nigeria so that you also know. We've looked at the scripture. In Nigeria, it's also not just new. Just as Madam said, in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, people traveled abroad for education. If you were in the first set of if you were in UI, you were in UNN, you were in UNILAG, you were in those first generation universities, all their professors, most of them studied abroad. They studied abroad in the 60s, in the 70s, and of course, in the early 80s. They returned after their study. In the late 80s and 90s, their own offsprings now jackpot because they probably gave birth to them in the UK, in the US, and they now returned. That's in the late 80s and 90s. In the 2000s, especially late 2000, we all jackpot. That's the category that I belong. I left Nigeria in 1995 to do my master's and my PhD. I finished my PhD in 2003. I worked in the Office for National Statistics 2005 to 2007, and I came back in 2007. So that is the category that I belong. Then you have the isolated cases. And the reason I know the isolated cases is because I'm a Bendelite, and I went to Ekpoma. In Ekpoma at that time, I noticed that those in Edo, they actually prefer to travel out. It's got nothing to do with conditions, they just want to travel out. So in the 80s, in the 90s, in the 2000s, you have people from Edo, they travel to Europe. And of course, in the 2020s, which is the period that we are in now, I call it Japa with a vengeance. So this one is not... If you want to know the extent of the Japa, just say that, look, if you want to Japa, come forward. Then the next one say, if you want to give your life to Christ, come forward. The one that want to Japa will be more than the one that want to give that. So, next slide, please. So, where the season we are in now is the season of vengeance. So, why is this related to the period of the Judges? There are three things that are very common in the period of Jesus. It was a period of religious and moral degeneracy. And you cannot argue that we are actually in that period in Nigeria today. Second, it was a period of national disunity. We are also in that period today. And the third one is we are in a period of general foreign oppression. General foreign oppressions does not mean you have people telling you work like the way they did the Israelites. It just means that some of the things we do as a nation are now subjected to the dictates of people outside of this country. Next slide, please. So, strong nations rule, and that's where I want to place. Note this. You are a Nigerian, whether you like it or not. If we don't develop our country, we will continue to be slaves in the world. We'll continue to be slaves because that is just the way the world rolls. If we don't develop our home country, we will continue to be slaves. Meanwhile, you are saying that you may say, oh, why should I be the one to develop? Well, if we, like I said, period of national disunity, if we don't all come together and say, this is where we are going, then our children will continue to be slaves outside of the country. So if you look at Judges chapter 2, verse 1, you say, and the anger of the Lord was against Israel. So he delivered them to the hand of plunderers, corruption. the hand of plunderers, and then he sold them into the hands of their enemies, migration. So there is nothing new that we have seen today that has not happened in the time of scriptures. It means that as a nation, we must be united in God's purpose for us as a nation. I'm running through now. Next slide. These are all just examples. Next slide. So let me now speak about my subject a bit, just so that you understand. When we talk about weak nations are poor nations. So you have this study that was done in 2018. You don't need to worry about it if you are not an economist. But what that study said in 2018 was that we had 87 million poor Nigerians, and that number was growing 6 people every minute. So calculate the minute from 2018. 6 people every minute since 2018, especially because the economic conditions has not improved dramatically since then. So the latest data is probably looking at something around 120, 130 poor people. So, next slide. So what it means is that, next slide. What it means is that while in the world, the rate of poverty is falling, so in Africa, it is actually rising. It is actually rising. So it means that while Africa is still the frontier, it remains the only frontier in the world, the only frontier in the world that has not developed. It has the capacity for the future, but that capacity is not going to just fall on our plate just like that. The way you are feeding a 2-year-old, we have to work towards it. Next slide, please. So, I just thought to show you, these are how economics, this is how you become weak. You know, when you have COVID-19, it affects your economies worse than the other economies. You have Russia-Ukraine war, it's not your business, but it affects you. You have food crisis, September 2020 to October. You have Naira redesign. Nobody sent us to redesign the Naira, but we just did. Removal of petroleum subsidy, exchange rate reform. These are all things. I'm just trying to say that if we don't get economic policies right, then we will continue to be a weak nation. And one of the consequences of being a weak nation, let me just break it down to you, is that the cream of the weak nation, they always go out. The cream. They don't take the non-educated. They don't take the you know what I mean. They take the cream. Your doctors, your nurses, your engineers, your intellectuals, they keep taking them. They keep going. Then the question I have for you, when all those ones are going, who's going to develop Nigeria? That's the question. So you have Japa from weak nations. Next slide. Weak nations, these are just all from weak nations. This is a symptom of a weak nation. Now, this is very important as well. I've made 2 points. One, God is not against Japa. The purposeful, as Pastor has said, that's fantastic. God ordains it sometimes. Yes. However, what makes a nation weak? We must ask ourselves, what is it that makes a nation weak? Sometimes we don't think about it. The reason a nation is weak sometimes is when they eat with their 10 move. So that is why we are weak. We don't save, we don't invest. We don't save, we don't invest. We say, oh, we haven't eaten enough. There's no country that has developed that has not made sacrifices. Sacrifices. And those sacrifices means that you delay your consumption until you can actually afford it. Next slide. So I just thought to give you this one. Don't worry about the graph. What he's saying is that the population in 1960, their per capita income was just about $1,000 capital income. Meaning if you count everybody in 1960, you give everybody their income is about $1,000. In 2025, it is still about $1,000. Let's go. So, Weak nation. These are the characteristics of a weak nation. These are the things we must change. So, I want to now tell you this. Whether as an individual or whether as a nation, this is what we need to do. We need to grow. We need to build. And, by the way, let me just make a personal confession. Everything I'm sharing here today is what God has shared with me in the last 3 years, and my life has changed. I wish God shared it with me 20 years ago. I would be better than I am now. But I don't know for one reason, maybe because I was distracted or whatever it is. But in the last 3 years is this. Now, this is the principle of growth. If anyone is asking for the principle of growth in life, you want to grow anything you want to grow. This is the principle, Genesis chapter 2, 4-5. This is the history of the heavens and the earth when they were created. In the day that the Lord made the earth and the heavens, before any plant of the field was in the earth and before any herb had grown, what happened? For the Lord had not caused it to rain, favor, and there was no man to till the ground. So there can be no growth except God causes the rain and there is a man to till the ground. But if you sit down there in your room and waiting for only the rain and don't till the ground, don't accuse God of being a fake God. So you need your work, your diligence, your knowledge, your skills, and everything to do what? To work. So whether you japa, whether you don't japa, you have to work. Let me just quickly say this. There is no growth without cost. We want to grow, but we don't want to bear the cost. There is no growth without cost. Anybody that has grown, pastor here, I may not know his story, but he did not get here by not making trade-offs. Trade-offs means that either when he was supposed to go to a party, he decided to do something else. I don't know him, but I know that he has done it. So, next one. And I will try and drop one or two of my own. So, what is your motivation? Motivation, Nehemiah, you have to build. If you want to grow, then you have to build. If you want to build, then you have to build well. And there are principles of building, whether it is your own life or a nation or a church. Nehemiah said, and they said to me, the remnant there is in prophets who escaped exile are in great trouble and reproach. One of the things that you learn about the building from Nehemiah is that he was not about himself. So even if you want to japa, is it really about you, about your country, about your family? Let the purpose be beyond you. Let it not just be, oh, I want to leave this country. Oh, I just want to leave this country. Leave this country for what? There's nothing wrong in leaving the country, but for what? Okay, they say my time is, quickly rush it. Let's rush this in. Time is up, 2 minutes. So building takes time. Very quickly, building takes time. It requires patience. Requires patience. Next one, building takes time, please. If you are building a business, give it time. It takes time. It takes time. And you need at least 3 kinds of people. One, you need God. You need God. You need God. You need God. Luke chapter 2, verse 52. Psalms 127, verse 1. You need God. You need God. Please, I can't emphasize that enough. You need God. We are in church, so let's say it very well. We need God. I need God. Say, I need God. I need God. Then you need the man above. The man above. The man above is the person that's already greater than you. You know, like the king that Nehemiah was working with. He provided resources, resources like investors. If you want to invest, then you influence, access. Somebody must open the door for you. Somebody must open the door for you. By the way, I was sharing with Pastor, the reason I'm late this morning, I don't have my time anymore. When I accepted this assignment 3 months ago, I was in control of my time, but I have another job now, so I don't have control of my time. I came back from Abuja yesterday. Somebody opened the door for me. The person did. So you have, somebody has to open. Then, of course, the third one is the man below. do not despise the man below, the sweat, the skills, and everything. Please run through the slide. Let me see whether one more I can. Revelation is just about instruction. Please get your instruction right. Finally, let's go to the final one. Final one. Aha, let's leave here. Sorry, no. Let's just, and I will be done. Please, up your skills. Up your skills. Let me tell you how I say it to young people, because I believe that there are young people here. 24 hours in a day, pastor has it. 24 hours in a day, pastor, 24 hours in a day, 24 hours in a day. Nobody has 58 hours in a day. Everybody has 24 hours in a day. So let's say you even remove 8 hours of sleep. I love my sleep, so let me remove 8 hours. What do you do with 16? Do you stay on WhatsApp? Do you stay on Instagram? Do you stay on Twitter? And at the end of the day, you go and look for food to chop. I'm not saying those things are bad, I have them. But what I'm saying is that think, there is this thing about 10,000 hours. If you spend 10,000 hours on an issue, on a thing, you become an expert. And the world is looking for experts in anything. Whatever skills that you choose, just make sure you have the best in them, whether you Japa or you don't Japa. In closing, 30 seconds. I have somebody who is a cameraman, like this young man. I met him over 10 years ago. He couldn't speak English. He did not go to university. However, if you hear me saying that, you will know who I'm talking about. Today, he works in Nigeria and he earns US dollars, not Naira. He doesn't touch Naira. He did not go to school. He sponsored his wife to university, but he did not go to school. He travels all over for international companies. Why? He became an expert in his field without leaving this country, and he earns US dollars. God bless you.
Please let's put our hands together for that fantastic presentation again. Thank you very much. We will now go into the panel session. And of course, you can see that our keynote speaker is now seated. Please let's have the introduction for our panel, for our panelists. Let's have a round of applause for them all together. Let's have a round of applause for them. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Flight attendant Modesola speaking, and our pilot has informed us that we're going to be having a time with Mr. Emeka Anene, a country manager at CFA Foundation, working at the intersection of migration, justice, working at the intersection of migration and impacts through the Sustain project. Sit tight, relax, because this is about to be a great ride.
Please let's welcome Mr. Emeka Anene.
Your flight attendant Modesola Owolabi speaking. You're now cruising at an altitude of 30,000 feet on flight Japa 1.0. Our pilot at this time is Mr. Thompson Akpabio, a seasoned lawyer and HR strategist, steering the skies of legal reform and labor development across Africa. Sit tight, relax, and do enjoy your flight. Thank you.
Let's put our hands together for him as well. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So ladies and gentlemen, please, I'd like us to just pay attention. I think we are about to even go deeper on the things that we have heard so far. Okay, thank you very much, sir. Dr. Ogo Okiti, thank you for that rather passionate presentation. I mean, I love in particular the example you gave of the cameraman, of the video guy who, you know, has skilled up, so to speak, and is doing fantastically well for himself. So the questions that we have here, I'll be asking you since you're fresh off speaking, and that is Dr. Ogo Okiti. Please, I'd like us to also know, I'd like us to know that Mr. Aneni is joining us virtually. Mr. Aneni is joining us virtually, and I believe we'll get a chance to also ask him the questions as will be needed. Now, to Dr. Ogo Okiti, sir, the Japa syndrome, as it has become, especially in the past 5-7 years now, is it entirely negative? And are there ways we can turn it? You know, we can turn the concept of Japa, we can turn it into a national gain. You know, like the brain drain attached to it. Can it possibly become national gain for us?
Yeah, thank you so very much for that. It's not entirely negative. However, for you to actually reap the benefits, then there must be an intentional, purposeful strategy, and I mean national strategy now, to get the benefits. So, for instance, let me give you an example. The country that did it most recently, whether it was by design or not, is India. India. When I arrived at Manchester University in 1995, there were Indians everywhere. And what were they doing? They were studying sciences, engineering, and everything. IT, they were studying it then. And of course, was I surprised that 10 years or 20 years later, even globally, they lead the technology space. So if you look at all the CEOs, whether it's Google, whether it's Facebook, whether it's all the key people everywhere, you will see Indians everywhere. It is not by chance. It is because they focused on developing expertise in technology, and they have now become a leader in that respect. So for Nigeria, you have Nigerians everywhere now, whether doctors, nurses, businessmen, but we need a national coherent strategy if we are going to benefit from that migration. If we don't do it, let me tell you what will happen, and we have to do this very quickly. We have to improve the conditions at home that makes people come back. So let me go back to my own generation. When I went in 1995, I went to do masters and I did PhD. I was telling my colleagues in 2003, 2004, that time, because I'm an economist, I said, they are cooking. I need to go before they finish baking the cake. And that's why I came back in 2007. Because the economy had created the opportunity for me to come back. So I didn't feel the need for me to remain there anymore. So to benefit, two things, a national strategy. Two, the conditions must improve. If the conditions does not improve, this is the sad part. They have children over there where the parents came from, and that's it.
Okay, a national coherent strategy. A national coherent strategy is what will enable us to convert the brain drain into national game.
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask. I don't know if Mr. Aneni is on. Mr. Aneni, can you hear us? Okay, we would just like you to let us know that you can hear us so we can hear you as well.
I can hear you.
All right, thank you very much. So for Mr. Aneni, as an academic and a talent placement professional, what I want... You see, how are institutions in Nigeria do we have any success rates concerning talent retention?
Okay, if you can hear me, I lost you for a bit. But
yes, sir.
You know what extent? I've started implementing this. We hope that this goes round, you know.
Very much. Thank you very much. Yes, let's put our hands together for that. That is quite the informative response. Now we have a representative of the Nigerian Employers Association. And going back to what Dr. Otiki said, I'm going to ask you this particular question. Now, what is, I don't want to say what is the biggest challenge that employers are facing, you know, in retaining, talent and all. But what I want to ask is, how can the private sector help reframe employment locally such that it is a viable competition for whatever it is that is on offer anywhere in the world, such that people can truly consider that they want to stay and they can count on it that something great will come out of it?
Well, I'm standing in for my DG, Mr. Dewale Smart Yorinde, Director General NECA. And let me start by saying we appreciate the invite. Human beings are by nature very mobile. Very, very mobile. When Dr. Kitty was speaking, he gave a lot of statistics from the Bible. And I'm sure some people listening to me when I say, after they don't talk finish, me say I was still Japa. Those that want to Japa, they will just. But you know, he also made a whole lot of verses in scriptures. I'm coming to your question. And just add this, that even Jesus, not Jesus, his parents also Japa. Matthew chapter 2, where he told them, take the child Jesus, go to Egypt because Herod was after his life and all of that. So people will always want to move. They're always mobile. But in terms of what employers can do to retain talent, to ensure the market here, the employment here, it's attractive enough, I just want to list 2 or 3 things. Number 1, friendly work environment. Let the people own the process. Let them be part of the business, part of the organization. Number 2, people tell me, okay, improve salary. There is no amount of salary that is enough to pay anybody. Because while you are on level 1 and you are earning 10,000, by the time you get to level 5 and you are paying 100,000, the responsibility that will come even at that level of 100,000 might even be much more than the salary. And you wish, how I wish I was not at that level. So that is another thing. Another thing is, look at in terms of competitiveness. My teacher always tells something, let's equalize opportunity. We equalize opportunity, but not necessarily equalizing the reward. So that everybody is given opportunity to express themselves, given opportunity to grow, and all of that. Number 3, what's the career path? Oh, I've started working in this, and I see no future. Why would I stay? I started working in this and the place is toxic. Why should I stay? I started working in this organization and I don't see myself growing in that organization, then why should I stay? Again, what are the things that have been put in place in terms of infrastructure for them? Oh, I expect you to work from home with what? No access to internet, no equipment, no facility, and you are asking me to deliver. So employers need to equally look at all of those things so that when you are putting a demand on the workers, you are putting a demand on your staff, they'll be able to know that, yes, there is that demand placed on them and they're able to move forward. And more importantly, job satisfaction. Love what you are doing. You know, I kind of like the footballers and the musicians. Easily, they enjoy what they're doing. And they're making money. Whether playing football or they're singing or and they're making money. A lot of people in the workplace, they don't even enjoy the work, they don't enjoy what they're doing, something just to escape from the house once in a while. And this is a challenge. So by the time you put some of these structures and things in place, you're able to know, oh, yes, I am in Nigeria, but I can compete abroad. I know a certain gentleman, he's based in Uyo. He's been employed in a company, name withheld, and he's only been to the headquarters only 3 times. The first time was the time of the interview session. The second time, there was going to be a meeting where all staff needed to be there. And then the 3rd time, because he was traveling for a certain function. But he's based in New York, Akwa Ibom State, and the money he's making, people abroad are calling him for job. The facility, the environment is there, and he's given opportunity to express himself. I think that's the direction we should go in.
Thank you very much. Because I also think what you have spoken to now, it pretty much speaks to the yearnings, you know, and the comparison models that a whole lot of young people, especially those who are of working age, what they truly, you know, what they truly want to see. And I can only hope that with your work, at the agency, that we begin to see more of this, and maybe then more people will always, want to stay at the first chance they get. All right. So now, the one question that I want to ask, and I would like the three of us to speak to this singular question from our different point of views. Now, what examples from other countries can Nigeria learn, from? What are the examples we can learn from in addressing mass migration? The concept of mass migration. What are the countries you think Nigeria can learn from, in addressing it? I'd like Dr. Otike to go first.
Yeah, thank you so very much. I'll go back to India. I think they are the ones that have done the best. And two things, of course, they have the population. We do, of course, not compared to them, but I mean, they are 1.4 billion, we are 230. But they have the population, so it means that the whole country too cannot contain everybody. Just like it looks like we are tight here, some people need to leave. So there's nothing wrong in living. However, what did India do different is that they never, at any point, relentlessly, aggressively, education and skills. One of the things I had in my slide that I couldn't share with you, please, if anybody is telling you education is a scam, the person is the scam. There is nothing like education is a scam. It is still the surest way to be comfortable in life. I am not saying the surest way to become a billionaire. But what I mean is that the percentage of people that are educated, that are successful, will always be more than 50%. But the Burna Boy, the Davido, no problem. I have nothing against them. But they are less than 0.1% of people that are singing. The same thing with footballers. When I was 16 years old, that was when they started this under 17. And I was telling my elder brother at the time, why are they not picking me? He said, you know how to play football, get out. I had to go and sort out my WAEC, because it means I couldn't compete. So nationally, individually, education and skills. Education and skills. And you can never get it wrong with those two things. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Education and skills. So before we take the next view on that, please, I would like every one of us to just say this loudly. School no be scam. Hey, we are not confident enough. I want us to say school no be scam. All right. And before we take that, please, I would like us to know that for your questions, you are to scan the QR code. You have to scan the QR code. The QR code is right there on the screen, just right there behind me. You have to scan that code and then send in your questions. We have a team that is actively looking through the questions and will put the right ones, the most appropriate ones, we'll put them forward. Now over to you, sir.
I'll quickly align myself with Dr. Okiti. And in aligning myself, I want to ask a question. At the Asians, I go with the Asians. The Indians are there. And I want to ask a question. Apart from an Indian person, an Indian national that is born in a country, have you ever seen or heard of any Indian that changes his nationality? He carries an Indian passport and he gets to Nigeria, spends 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and he gets a Nigerian nationality. He changes it. No. I relate with them on a daily basis. No matter how many years they stay in your country, they are still Indians. And what's the secret to it? Because when we get back, we're still there. Apart from those that are born in those countries, who became nationals by birth. And so that's the direction we should be going, so that we're proud of our origin. Secondly, for those of them that are out there, there is what they send back home. And that is a very important part. So it becomes an issue. So you are going to pay tax here or in the country that they are domiciled, because they need to repatriate some things back down there. And one of the things that keeps coming to my mind is that we want to Japa, but have you realized that the population or the number of the Asians that are coming here is on the increase? Why? There's something which they see that we don't see. My late dad would tell me something. He said something, thief not a rob empty house. A thief will not rob an empty apartment. There is something that he or she is going in for. And something that we should sit down and think about it. The model. I recently listened to the analysis of the election they had in India with over 980 million voters. And there was a polling booth, even if it is only one voter in that local government. Even if it's just one. And you are looking at the population of 980 registered voters. And they need to account for it. Result is announced within 24 hours of the vote, of the last person's vote, and all of that. So we still have a lot to do, sir.
Okay. Please let's put our hands together for him. And we are now going to hear from Mr. Nene on how, what examples can, Nigeria learn from where in addressing this concept of mass migration.
I need to say something.
All right, sir.
You see, migration is actually one of the, with regards to the different declaration of human rights. And study what they've done with GIST here. we can also put it together and say, okay, you're growing, right? We can even, we as government can negotiate bilateral agreements on your behalf. Such that when you get there, right, so that's also contributing to the economy back home. And by economy, it's not just about money. It's also about talent, experience and everything. So, again, short of sounding like a broken record, I recommend this Global Indian Scientists and Technological Forum. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Please, let's put our hands together. And I believe that with these contributions, every one of us gathered here, we can come to the conscious realizations that there's more to Indians and Asians than their weddings and their movies. I mean, if you agree with me, come on, put your hands together for yourself. If you have now realized that there's more to learn from Indians and Asians than just their movies and their weddings, all right? And I really love what has been said. Education, you can never go wrong on long-term pursuits with education. With education and scaling up your skills, and skilling up rather, you can never, ever go wrong. Now, I have one question here. And the reason why I am picking this question is because it may sound unrelated to the part of this matter that we're focusing on, but I would just like a chime in from the both of you, which will serve as a closing for this panel session. This question says, all my children are outside the country. I don't want my grandchildren to grow up without me. Neither do I want to be lonely in old age. Can I consider to Japa? Now, like I said, I'm intentionally asking this question. It's not really speaking to what we're saying, but it's a question that came in, and I think I understand the sentimental and emotional position of the person asking the question, because I know that the person is not a kid, the person is not a child. So I would just like the both of you to give us your view on it as we bring this to a close.
All my children are outside the country. But I don't want my grandchildren to grow up without me. There's a concept that has actually gotten into the home front, whereby the wife or one of the spouses is living in another country and the other one here in Nigeria. I know several men that are actually living in Nigeria and their wives are out of the country. One of my chairmen worked in Apapa for 10, 12 years, and the wife was based in the US. One of my current chairmen, the wife is based in Canada with 4 children and is here in Ayobo, Ikpaja. And the question I asked him was, how do you cope? How do you cope? I says, well, I visit them occasionally, seasonally, Christmas, New Year, vacations, and all of that. I consider the cost, COST, because of tickets and things like that. But I have technological devices at home, where all I do is put it on, and I am seeing everybody, and we are talking at time zones, at time differences. Whether it's sleep or not, we're all communicating. But in this particular scenario, it's not spouses. It's a grandfather and a grandmother, or a grandmother missing the grandchildren. The question now becomes, is that enough reason to Japa? Would that be sustainable in terms of Japa? Because you can get out there and find out that there is cultural differences, and then you have a problem. And that's the truth. It falls back to an individual taking his or her decision because the personal decision, I dare say. And what makes it a personal decision is because what the grandchildren would have grown up as a norm is different from what the grandma actually have grown up with. I give you an instance. I recall my cousin actually going home to visit a friend of his in the US. And when he got there was everybody visiting and all of that. And then the grandchildren was like, hello, Dad. Who's that ragged woman sitting down there? My mother, ragged, sitting down there. His younger brother was there, and it felt like when we were growing up, Mama would have used Gibbon's backhand to have a reset. And then the young man kept misbehaving. It got to a point that he had no regard for anybody because of the cultural, it's a free world, free society. And to correct his mindset, it was like, I mean, want to visit Nigeria, I will take you on excursion and you will learn a lot about things and everything. And he agreed. His visit to Nigeria was deemed to be like for 2 weeks. But he ended up spending 18 years. Because by the time he got to the village in the South, and he reacted that way, his age group had to be the one to correct him the African way. And at that point, he had none of those devices on him. So if you are in that category as a grandma and a grandpa, I would suggest you visit. Can you adapt to them over there? But you have a decision to take whether you want to Japa or not, ultimately.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, this is an individual case, so before I answer that, let me just, before the man or the woman get to the point, I mean, a lot of things has happened. So let's not forget, this is now like the end point, right? Because I look at my home family, for instance, none of us are abroad anymore. My dad was abroad until February this year. I had to travel and go and bring him home. When he's 85, a bit of dementia, I traveled, I brought him home. So all of us, we are here. But my wife's side is only 2 of them that are here. The rest, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 4 or 5, they are over there. Now, before he gets to that point, what did the man or woman do? Because one of the things we must try as much, not everybody should travel. In a whole family, not everybody. At least let's one make the sacrifice and stay. Because all of them now don't have anything to come back home to do. That is, it's got to that point. They can't just come back because of the man or because of the woman. They are elderly. But let's assume there was brother or there was sister, and if we come home, we have somewhere to stay. You'll probably be okay. I'm just assuming you'll probably be okay. So that it should not get to that point. That is the point. But the final point I want to make, I've made this point in my presentation, I want to make it again. There is nothing like no cost to growth. Any kind of growth, you must now choose your growth. Me being here, there is a cost, right? But it's a choice I made. So if you want to travel abroad, just know that there are costs, there are benefits. Then you are enlightened enough to choose your growth. But most times, most of us, we want to choose growth without the sacrifices that are required. Then we get frustrated, disillusioned, and wondering why I'm growing now. Why am I still frustrated? It's because we assume that everything will just be hunky-dory. There is no process in life that is hunky-dory. Choose your growth. Or, as some people say, choose your hard. Everything is hard, but choose the hard.
All right. Nigeria is hard. Abroad is hard. Japa is hard. Choose your hard. Ladies and gentlemen, please, I would like us to just celebrate our panelists. Let's put our hands together for them. And I'll just like the chairman, the program chair, to please also come on up to join the panelists for a photo op. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Please, technical team, after this, we will be taking some messages from our sponsors. We'll be taking some messages from our sponsors. Okay. Of course, please, let's put our hands together as we welcome Pastor Norua Idopolo to also come on to join us for the pictures. Thank you very much. And that's our selfless, borderline unstoppable convener. Please, let's put our hands together for him. Let's put our hands together for him. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, okay. This way will be very good. All right, please, let's put our hands together for them. Let's put our hands together for the panelists. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Are we making decisions and readjusting our projections? Is anybody using the information they are getting here to, begin to make plans or begin to have dreams and fresh goals? If that is you, wave your hands. Let's see. Okay. That means we are making great progress. That means we're making great progress. So right now we're going to take some messages from our sponsors, from the sponsors of the Japa conference. And please, let's pay attention. Beyond the value of the information that we have, these sponsors also have great values to give us, even as we explore their offerings. Thank you very much. Thank you.
At Rccg Fountain of Life, we're more than a church, we're family. Where worship comes alive and the presence of God fills the room. A place where destinies are shaped and spiritual growth is intentional. Where fellowship is real and love is a lifestyle. Every hand, every heart, serving with joy within God's house. Join us this Sunday. Come as you are. Leave refreshed. Rccg Fountain of Life Sanctuary. Welcome home.
I'd like us to please put our hands together for the church and what the church also offers. Put your hands together, put your hands together, put your hands together, put your hands together. Thank you very much, thank you very much. Now we are going to welcome a representative of one of our sponsors, and this time it is PAVE. Please let's put our hands together for Mr. Lanre Ogundikpe as he comes to speak to us concerning the offerings of PAVE. Let's put our hands together for them, let's put our hands together for them. They are fantastic sponsors, and remember, they did not change their mind. That's why we are holding this program today. Let's give them another round of applause. Thank you.
All right. Okay. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. All right, my name is Lanre Ogundikpe, and I'm the founder, co-founder, and CEO of PAVE. For those who don't know, PAVE, we're an education technology company, actually. To just go back a little bit, we started off as Imperial Educational Services about 15 years ago, with the main aim of basically trying to change the education system in our own way possible. But we started off by helping students who wanted to leave the shores of Nigeria as far back as 15 years ago. And when we started 15 years ago, our intention was not necessarily Japa wasn't a thing then, it was just international education, right? Japa makes it a bit more aggressive, right, in terms of the word and how it's used. If you look back in history, people have always been traveling abroad. And it's not something that it's a disadvantage, it's not something that is bad, but it's just something that has to be done properly and ethically. And that's why we set up the organization. 15 years ago when we started, it wasn't the way it is now. Back then, I think things were a little bit easier in terms of the exchange rate and all of that. So we had a lot of people taking this decision and making this decision over years. Now, why did we form PAVE? We saw that that decision-making process and the way people were making those decisions were very manual. Even us as an organization, we had offices in different places. We had in Lagos, we had in Abuja, we had in Port Harcourt. I think we did something in Ghana at some point. But running those organizations or those companies, seemed very, very hard. And about 3 years ago, about 5 years ago actually, we conceptualized the idea of digitizing the whole process of how people search and apply to schools, whereby we don't need to necessarily be making calls back and forth or waiting for information from people who probably don't have enough information for you. So we built all of that into one platform. As someone who studied computer science and computer systems, I always think about ease. How can we make things easier? How can we use technology to solve simple problems? And that's why we built PAVE. PAVE is the first platform in Africa where a student can literally go on there, search for any university in any country, filter by your location, filter by your budget, filter by your interest, and it will give you results of schools around the world. And what you can also do is you can apply. So we decided to build a platform where we can actually go through the whole process with little to no human interaction. So basically, if you go on PAVE, you can search for universities, you can save the university, you can apply to the university without having to speak to anyone. All of the information that you need is there. And if you need to speak to anybody, we also have a live chat where you can also respond. Now, going further a little bit, we also realized that the way people were making these decisions was mostly uninformed. People will make the decision just based on maybe the hype or the trend of a particular country without necessarily understanding how that country favors them or the course they want to study. So we went further to solve that problem again by saying, let's have a psychometric test that helps people to analyze their strengths and weaknesses and also helps them to understand their individual dexterities and their personality type. Because when you understand these things, it's easier for you to make the right decision about your career. Also realize that people didn't understand, people were always very scared when it comes to switching careers. So maybe you studied science in school and then you want to go and do arts and you don't know how to go about it. We saw that when people want to make those decisions, they are either forced or coerced by either their parents, friends, or some kind of influence. And we needed people to also be confident in how they make those decisions. So PAVE now, we're launching something at the end of this month called a career pathway system. So we've built PAVE into like an operating system that helps students make those informed decisions. So we're calling it a career pathway system. And what does that mean? The system helps navigate a student from your education to your career journey. If you're in university, for example, the system will suggest different courses, even if it's short courses. So regardless of what you're studying. And why did we do this? We went into universities to ask questions to university students. Are you studying a course that you really intended to study? We noticed that a lot of students in Nigeria universities are always about, they gave me this course, they gave me that course. And when students are studying programs that were given to them as opposed to programs that they intentionally want to study and they are looking at the career path in that area, it usually comes up most times as either struggled success or even failure. That's why we see this high unemployment rate happening. So we want to mitigate all of these issues by ensuring that with one single platform, you can do a psychometric test, you can get matched with a counselor that can even counsel you on what exactly it is you want to study. You can search and apply to programs, that's short programs. So let's say you're studying medicine, but you're interested in tech. On our platform, you can also go and look for tech courses and apply to those tech courses and also take those tech courses as well. So these are some of the things that we've done, even matching with mentors and all of that. So this is the first of its kind of platform where we call it a CPS. And it's a new category in the market. It doesn't exist currently. And we believe that with this product and with this platform, we'll be able to solve that decision-making problem for a lot of people and also give them a plethora of options where they can also get guided on making the right education decisions. And even when you want to go abroad, it's important for you to make informed decisions because you can go to countries where the course you are going to study is not even relevant in that country. And that leaves you in a position where even with a master's, you are going to, God forbid for anyone here, but clean toilets and do all kinds of things just to make ends meet. So for further information and not to hog the mic too much, you can reach out to us at the back there. We have some representatives that will be happy to answer your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Lanre Ogudikpe, the CEO of PAVE. So don't forget they are at the back there, just in case you want to see them or you have any questions. So just before we have our next performance, we have at the back 100 books ready to be given out to us. We have free consultations from PAVE Education, and we also have a raffle draw coming up. 10 people to win $25 in crypto digital assets that you can sell off or keep. And we also have free crypto consultations after the seminar. So coming up next, we have Channel is going to be performing his song. So please can we give him a round of applause as he comes on stage.
How are we doing this morning? How are we doing this afternoon? Come on, if you're feeling yourself, can I hear you say, yeah, yeah? Okay, if you're ready to Japa, can I hear you say, yeah, yeah? Okay, this morning, just listen. Magnificent, you over 10. No can contend, you are the best. I'm feeling blessed more than I can tell. You are the best, no can contend. Hosanna, everything about you is good. Nothing without you, nobody can do. Magnificent, you are the only one anybody can see through. There is nobody like him. If you see him, then you've known the truth. Baba, we thank you for everything you did do. He did bless us every day on the day, steady. If I say, it doesn't matter, let them say, Baba look alone if I not say. Can we do that together? It doesn't matter, let them say. Yes, I feel you. It doesn't matter, let them say. Thank you. Then I'll say, hold on, please. Hold on. Then I'll say, from Monday to Sunday. Then you say, Baba Loke, just the shower grace. Let's go. From Monday to Sunday, Baba Loke. From the beginning, it doesn't matter, let them say. Baba Loke, alone if I not say. From Monday to Sunday, Baba Loke, just the shower grace. Now you're under day. Now you're under day. Say, let's go. Now you're under day. Hey, now you're under day. One more time. Now you're under day. Now you're under day. Now you're under day. Come on, drop that. So we're coming back to that song. Can you give it volume a beat? We all know the song, right? Let's go. Let's hum it. Let's go. La la. Come on. You over 10. No can contend. You are the best. I'm feeling blessed more than I can tell. You are the best. You're worthy of my worship. You are worthy of my praise. Worthy of my worship. You are worthy of my praise. Yarani, Yesuna, Uzama, Zamada Kai. Agidiga, Ebenezer, my ever forever. My father, your Alpha and Omega. What are you turning to wine? Open the eye of the blind. Jesus with you, no decline. Jesus with you, no decline. Jesus with you, no decline. La 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 la. Hallelujah. Yeah yeah. La 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 la. Hallelujah. Yeah yeah. You're the outward one. You're the only one. You're everything I want. Hey. Yahweh la 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 la. I can hear you la 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 la. Hey. You are worthy of our worship. Hey. Worthy of our praise. Hey. La 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 la. Hey. Come on. La 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 la. I can hear you. Hey. You are worthy of our worship. Hey. Worthy of my praise. Yarani, Yesuna, Unzama, Zamada Kai, Agidida, Ebenezer, my ever forever, my father, your Alpha and Omega. What are you turning to wine? Open the eye of the blind. Jesus with you, no decline. Jesus with you, no decline. Jesus with you, no decline. Can we listen to the second song? Thank you, thank you. Come on, if you can be on your feet with this one. It's an unreleased song, so we can just vibe together this morning.
Pro did this.
Are you ready? Come on. Ayawe, 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 ayawe. Are you ready?
Jiji moji lórúkọ yìí, orí mi bá rè dèrè kò mí.
kí má ṣe ṣẹ́rú kọ́tà yọ mí. Akóredé dẹni kọ́ máa pè mí. Jíjí mo jí lórúkọ yìí. Orí mi wá rédèrè kò mí. Kí má ṣe ṣẹ́rú kọ́tà yọ mí. Akóredé dẹni kọ́ máa pè mí. Doesn't matter, let them see. Abalókè ló ní finance. I can hear you. From Monday to Sunday. Abalókè just dey shower. And that day.
I can hear you.
Now you and that day.
I can hear you. Come on.
Now you and that day. Now you and that day. And you know they fail. Oh, you know they fail. Now you and that day. 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 And you know they fail. I away.
Hey, come on.
It doesn't matter, let them say. Hey, from Monday to Sunday.
One more time.
It doesn't only worry, kí má ṣe ṣẹ́rú kọ́tà yọ mí. Akóredé dẹni kọ́ máa pè mí. Akóredé dẹni kọ́ máa pè mí. Orí mi wá rédèrè kò mí. Kí má ṣe ṣẹ́rú kọ́tà yọ mí. Akóredé dẹni kọ́ máa pè mí. Akóredé dẹni kọ́ máa pè mí. Doesn't matter, let them say. Babalókè ló ní finance.
I can hear you.
From Monday to Sunday. Babalókè just dey shower.
One more time. It doesn't matter, let them say.
Babalókè ló ní finance.
I feel you.
From Monday to Sunday.
1, 2, let's go. Hey.
I away.
Hey.
I away.
One more time. Let's go.
I away.
Jíjí mo jí lórúkọ yìí. Orí mi wá rédèrè kò mí. Kí má ṣe ṣẹ́rú kọ́tà yọ mí. Akóredé dẹni kọ́ máa pè mí. Doesn't matter, let them say.
From Monday to Sunday. It doesn't matter, let them say. From Monday to Sunday. Now you're under. Yes, now you're under. Now you're under.
Come on, put your hands together for yourself. Enjoy the rest of the program.
Please, let's put our hands together for our fantastic brother who has made that beautiful presentation. And right now we are going to be taking another message from one of our sponsors. And this time I'll be calling on the managing partner of Rccgfols and Keynote Coin, Mr. Ayobami Obafemi. Please, let's put our hands together for him. Let's put our hands together. Let's put our hands together. Let's put our hands together. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. All right. My name is Ayobami Obafemi. I want to ask, how many of us here engages on digital currencies, cryptocurrencies, as it were? Anybody? Okay. Among those of us that are, that we've been engaging on cryptocurrencies, how many people have lost money? Okay. All right. How many people have made money? Okay. For those that have lost money, what did you do? Was it a case of somebody said, go and do this? Or a case of, in quote, CBEX? Or a case of PSEX? Or a case of, yes, I just heard people are making money, I too want to make money? Or you actually did your own due diligence? See, for everybody, including myself speaking, I'm a principal partner with Rccgfols Limited, and that is where we come in, okay? In 2016, I left my job to pursue a career in cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. I was doing it with my head knowledge. I must tell you the truth. I was doing it with my head knowledge. I go into the cryptocurrency, into CoinMarketCap and look at coins that I feel still have the room to grow. But the moment I put my money, it will start going down. The moment I put my money, it will start going down. And somebody will tell me, buy the dip. The more I buy the dip, the deeper it goes. And then I was like, come, are you sure you really have a calling in this field that you want to pursue? But then, I remembered I'd gone to a blockchain conference in Dubai and in South Africa. So I met somebody from Japan, and I reached out to him. My friend, how are you doing this thing? He now told me, for you to profit in crypto, you must first forget about the money making, go for the knowledge, which was what I did not go for. I wanted to make money. I saw people making money, 1,000 turns into 500,000. Ha! $500 turns into $70,000. Ha! Oh boy, there is money here. But then, alas, I didn't know that the way the money, comes is the same way it can actually, go away. Then we started Rccgfols, and then we partnered with international bodies, which, clearly opened our eyes to how everyone can actually profit from crypto. Everybody can profit from crypto. The only thing, we need to do basically is to see that how are you diversifying your portfolio? What actions are you taking? Because we must know that cryptocurrency generally has so many faces to it. It's very wide. For those of us that are engaging in it, it's very wide. And it is a very, very volatile market, for you to play in. So you must know when you are going in, you must know when you are going out, you must know what you are putting your money on and all. So in 2022, in our bid to make the environment more conducive for everybody in our community, we decided to say, okay, yes, we looked for an international company that is Paynet Coin FMCP ecosystem, which of course we are going to be giving out some of the tokens to virtually a whole lot of people here today, for free, for you to be able to see both people that are in it, people that are not in it but want to have a feel of what the space holds. So we partner with Paynet Coin ecosystem, FMCP, in 2022. It is a program that started, it's actually an exchange. FMCP is an exchange, and I have a couple of people right in this order that have benefited from that program, and we are still benefiting, and it's growing stronger, on a daily basis. So, what do we do, basically? You come on the platform, you get involved with Paynet Coin staking, and then you earn your reward. So for me, I have 3 people, so to say, in my community that have jackpaded. Yes, they jackpaded from UK, and they are back home doing fantastically well today. All right? Personally, I used to tell my wife, you want to travel, I will say, God go with you. I'll be coming to greet you. Why? My bone doesn't like cold. I don't like cold at all. If I stay too much under the AC, my nose will start running. So I can't imagine myself in minus 40, minus. When I'm not Kote, I can't imagine myself, in that kind of temperature. So for me, I would rather sit here. How many of us knows that if you make dollars, you make money in dollars in Nigeria, you are above average. You are a big boy. Okay, so someone came to the office and was like, okay, he wants to get involved with Keynote coin staking. And then we did the analysis. Just $270 reward puts in your hand over 400,000 naira every month. Now, let's not deceive ourselves. How many people? What is the percentage of people that are working today? Is it 9 to 5? 9 to 5. I'll be 7 to 5, whichever way it is called, earns 400,000 naira a month. What is the percentage? Today, from government functionaries to private sectors, yes, multinational, yes, even some people in multinationals, they still don't earn as much as that. I've had my own taste of multinational, in my career from 2004 up until 2016, that I decided to say, you know what, enough is enough. Let me hold my own destiny in my hands. So the opportunity that we have right now, today, that we are presenting, apart from the long-term opportunities that you have in crypto, for those that can really hold and then don't mind investing 10,000 in the morning and in the night has turned to $200, and then your blood pressure will still be normal. Okay, we felt that okay, it's not everybody that has the threshold for this, and that's why we have Keynote coin in our bag to be able to explain to every individual that can be part of it, and then you are able to earn salary. I call it salary for life. Salary for life. You have what you are doing, whether you are doing anything or not. Just put in your funds, let it work for you, and then the benefit is highly, highly enormous. For more information, we have our stand, at the back. I don't want to take much of our time. When we get to the raffle door, they will direct you to where to come. We have free gift for, 10 people for raffle. We have free gift for people coming in to, be part of the ecosystem as a whole. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you so much, sir. So don't forget, they have a stand at the back, just in case you have questions or you need consultations on some things you're not clear on. So now coming up, we have committee members from the PYC. They are here to talk to us about their conference coming up, themed The Way.
Good afternoon, everybody. Are we tired? Good afternoon, everybody. Okay, let's do it again. When I say PYC, you say The Way. PYC.
The Way.
PYC.
The Way.
Are we tired? I mean, you don't want Japa again. Japa. PYC.
The Way.
Okay, so we're having a program with the committee of the PYC, that's the Provincial Youth Conference of the Fountain of Life Provincial Church, is having a
great invite. Something big is about to go down. Yo, stop scrolling. This is not your average invite. Something big is about to go down. guess what? You're officially on our guest list for the Way program coming up here at RCCG Fountain of Life Sanctuary. We have varieties of activities, from games that will make your squad scream, worship that will have you on your knees, talks and the word of God that will hit differently, and for snacks, you already know we've got you now. We're also going to be having an exhibition outside if you are a trader. So compact, come with joy, because you and everyone in your neighborhood is invited for our program. And don't forget, if you're a trader and you want to register for the exhibition, there's a link up here or in our bio waiting for you.
So we, the committee of the PYC conference, the Provincial Youth Conference, we're here to announce the Provincial Youth Conference of this year, theme, The Way. The Way. The Bible says Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. So if you are interested in the conference, this is the barcode. The program features sport activities. We're going to be having an aerobic activity to help you and exercise yourself and release toxins from your body. On the 26th of the program, we're having a conference where we're going to be inviting the owner, the CEO of the largest cake retail company in Nigeria. We're going to be having tech gurus. We're going to be having content creators. We're going to be having people who have done excellently well in their careers and in their businesses. So it's not just the way that speaks to your spiritual life. It's a program that speaks to every dimension and facet of your life. Then on the 27th of the month, we're going to be having a dinner conference where you can come around if you are single and you want to mingle in 2025. Then on the 24th, we're having a movie night where we're going to be showing a movie that's going to really touch us. Or not tell you the title. I'm pretty sure when you come around, you have the best experience. Thank you.
Yes, so as my brother here said, we're going to be having the conference. So on the screen here, we have the barcode, please. You can register. We have delegates from the Way conference. They're already around. So if you have issues registering, please, just beckon on any of them, and they will help you. And we will see you at the conference. Thank you.
Please, a round of applause for the PYC team. Thank you very much. And indeed, as much as they look forward to seeing you at the conference, we all look forward to seeing you at the conference as well. Thank you very, very much. We are going into...
Thank you very much.
This panel session is one that you must listen to every word. You must also pay attention, not just to what is being said, but also how it is being said. All right? What I'm saying is the statement as much as the body language. Okay? So young people, if you qualify as a young person, this is where I'll say you put your phone to one side, you raise your head up, and you pay absolute attention. I would leave the moderator to let us know what exactly it is that we are going to be talking about, but I would just be bringing up I'll be bringing up these wonderful people. First off, the CEO of Nile Media Entertainment Group, Mr. Moses Babatokwe. Mr. Moses Babatokwe. Let's put our hands together. Let's put our hands together.
This is your flight attendant, Modesola, speaking at this hour. We have news that some of our passengers need a sprinkle of refreshments and entertainment, and we've got you covered. Moses Babatope, the co-founder of Film House Group and Film One Entertainment, a Nollywood powerhouse, has amplified African stories across global cinema screens. Sit tight, relax, and do enjoy your flight. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And also, we are going to have, I love this session in particular because I think I know everybody involved. Yes, I know everybody
I'm
that is
getting
involved.
information right now from our pilot that we're getting close to space. But not to worry, Daniel Damilola Obiokeke, the founder of Space Bar Africa, is bringing the stars closer to Nigerian youths. At this time, he'll be taking us on space entrepreneur and internet maximalist. Sit tight, because this is about to be a great ride.
We also have joining us Mr. Abolaji Adeola. Coming up next is Mr. Lanre Ogundipe, co-founder of Pay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please, at this point, I would like us to just put our hands together as I'll bring Modesola from behind the stage. She comes forward to moderate this session. Please, let's put our hands together for the panel. And beyond our applause, please, this is the session where, if you're a young person, I want you to pay absolute attention. Please, a round of applause for yourselves.
All right. Good afternoon, sirs. Do we all have a mic, please? Okay. All right. So please, can we have each of you introduce yourselves to us once again, starting from Mr. Moses?
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. A pleasure to be here, and thank you for putting this together. My name is Moses Babatope. I am the CEO of Now Media Entertainment Group, a media entertainment conglomerate that works in the film and content ecosystem of production, distribution, and exhibition, as well as leveraging tech, to take African storytelling to the rest of the world. Before setting up Now Media, which is just under a year old, I co-founded Film House Cinemas, which is the largest cinema chain in West Africa, and was managing director of Film One Entertainment, which is one of the biggest distribution companies here. Got 23 years working in film business in Nigeria and the UK, in the US, and other parts of Europe. So great to be here and looking forward to sharing one or two things on the panel.
Hi, everyone. My name is Daniel Damlola Obiokike. I'm an internet maximalist because I build things on the web and monetize them. I've been coding since I was 14. I'm 28 now, and I've made tens of thousands of dollars on the web over the years. And I'm so excited to be here this afternoon, because there'll be a lot more like us at the end of this session. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Adeola Bolaji. I'm a volunteer in Rccg, and yeah, that's it. Thank you.
All right, good afternoon once again. My name is Lanre Ogunekwe. I'm the co-founder and CEO at PaveHQ. Today I'm wearing my PaveHQ hat. I'm also the founder of a company called Imperial Education Technology. At Imperial Educational Technology, we actually leverage technology, build digital infrastructure for schools, build softwares as well within the education space. But today I'm going to be speaking more about PAVE, which focuses on the reason why we're here, which is career and education. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so my first question goes to Mr. Moses. So everybody now is doing content. Like basically every young creative is on TikTok or Instagram doing one thing or the other. It's either they're acting short films or they are basically like showing off their talent. And we know that right now, like going into that space is capital intensive. And also starting off is quite difficult for some of us that really don't have mentors in that space already. So what do you suggest, sir?
Thank you for that question. So my reaction to it is there's never been a better time for creatives or people that have, ideas on how to put content together. There's never been a better time for them because of technological advancements and developments that we've seen. And I disagree a little that, it's capital intensive. I think that technology that exists now that has given us an opportunity to be very, very creative with the resources that we have. And so what I always tell young people is just get it done with that smartphone that you have, or with that, iPhone or laptop, or even if it's not even any of those gadgets. If you don't have it, there's somebody close by that has it, that can, give you 10, 15 minutes for you to have conceptualized and just come together, put a concept together, and put it out there. You know, in a social media connected world, I can't begin to tell you the number of people that I've seen a 1-minute clip, and from there they've been given an opportunity to do a short film, and from there they've been given an opportunity to work on a feature film. So my answer to them, just like Hollywood filmmaker Ryan Coogler said, just get it done. You know, use that device. Like I said, it's never been a better time to make that device that you have, make it count. That would be my reaction.
So basically, it doesn't matter like the device. It doesn't have to be an A7S3 or an FX3 camera. You just pick up your camera and start what you know.
Doesn't have to be a Red or a Sony or an Arri. Just, for me, it's a lot of people. So where I sit, we're looking for the genius in the idea. We're looking for the gem, you know, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just what is the thought process. Let me give you an example. The Ikorodu boys, you know, look at what they have become just by, you know, mimicking Western trailers, Western, clips, and that says it for you. And you know, that's what it can be in this age. So there is really no excuse, if you ask me. And you know, for us in Nigeria as well and rest of the world, those are the kind of things we're looking for. You know, you have the tools to create your proof of concept.
Okay, so my next question is for Mr. Lanry. All right. So basically, there are so many youths right now that they want, for instance, I want to be a filmmaker, but I want to thrive outside of Nigeria. How do I know where exactly to go to when I want to leave this country? How am I sure of the route to take? You know, because it's not just based off of, I want to go and do my master's. People actually have like long career alignment strategies they want for themselves. So how do they know how to go about this?
So thank you very much. Once again, I think that the internet has made it possible for a lot of things to happen these days, where decisions are made, literally, just like my colleague said, decisions are made basically in split seconds once you are able to show yourself. If you're a filmmaker, for example, being able to communicate your idea or your movie, or even just the, because now, if you notice, there are so many, there's so much funding going on around the creative space, the tech space, and all other spaces these days, whereby it's not just for Nigerian organizations or Nigerian organizations giving funding. A lot of foreign organizations, you see so many calls to applications. If there's anything that you're doing, maybe you're making film, you're making art, or you're even building software solutions, try as much as possible to leverage the internet. And the way the internet works these days, I'm sure all of you know, is by your behavioral patterns. The things that you search for on the internet are the things that it keeps showing you on the internet. So if, for example, someone is looking for an opportunity in France, maybe you're a fashion designer and your vision is to go for maybe an exhibition in France, what you'll be typing on your social media would be either types of exhibitions in France, for example, or exhibitions in Europe. And you would see on your feed, you start to see, and it will ask you, are you interested in this? If you say yes, it continues to suggest to you what kind of exhibitions are available in France, what kind of exhibitions are available in Europe, and you start to just see those opportunities come on your feed. That's one way. Another way is by joining accelerators. If you're part of a particular industry, there are different accelerators that happen both in Nigeria, online, and globally, across different verticals, across different industry verticals. One of the easiest ways, because that's the reason why we're here as well, because we need to start to inform people that you don't have to sell your land, sell your property, for you to go and earn an education that you're not sure is going to even get you to the next place in life. The reason why we're having this conference is to educate people on other ways they can either make that journey abroad, either by even being here. I have a friend, Ferdy, who owns Magic Studios. Ferdy builds animation here in Nigeria, and they've done stuff for Cartoon Network from here. He's been all around the world showing his cartoons and the possibility of what their studios can do. So Magic Studios today works with Warner Brothers, to produce animation, and their studio is here in Lagos. So these are the kind of things that people don't understand. And if you are, for example, an intern in Magic Studios, or maybe maybe Film One also probably has an academy that they are building for creatives. Those are the kind of places that you should find yourselves. Those accelerator programs give you the opportunity to be able to express your art, express your idea, and also possibly take it to a global stage. So I think those are the two things: leverage the internet and leverage accelerators as much as you can.
So research is even very, very important.
Research is the most important thing. I think we underestimate research a lot in every industry. Even in our own education industry, I tell my team a lot that research is your first step to finding out, the future of where you're going to. Everybody here seated on this table has done research into the next stage of their business. So if you're looking at the next stage of your life, it is ideal that you spend time on doing research. And we have a microwave generation now where nobody wants to watch anything for more than 1 minute or 2 minutes. Everything is slow.
My attention span is short.
Attention span is short. Everything is slow. Everything is micro content, micro this, micro that. So people don't spend time actually, getting information as much as they should. So I think that